This week we take our first ever road trip to a lake, Otsego Lake. If you look at a map of New York State, you can see that it is geologically related to the Finger Lakes. It is over 9 miles long and is one of New York State's cleanest because of the community's commitment to conservation. We visit the Fenimore Art Museum to see how the lake has inspired those who live along its shores. The lake was nicknamed Glimmerglass by James Fenimore Cooper in his Leatherstocking Tales. Millions of Americans and Europeans were introduced to this region by Cooper's vivid descriptions of the landscape. Artists were also inspired to capture its beauty in paintings. In the Cooper Room, we discover a map of the lake that highlights the locations of many of the scenes in James Fenimore's stories. Behind the museum is a brand new trail that leads you along the lakeshore. This interpretive trail highlights the connections between the museum's collections and their setting, and focuses on the importance of Otsego Lake in American art, literature, and history.
The trail takes you along the west side of the lake, one more way to enjoy its beauty, and at the very end you will find an authentic Mohawk bark house.
During the 18th century, these small bark houses replaced the Mohawks' giant longhouses, as wars and land loss changed the configuration and size of their dwellings. You can also enjoy an outdoor film here at the Fenimore during the summer Wednesday night film series starting at 7:30. Bring a lawn chair or blanket and a snack, or purchase one from the cafe to enjoy on the beautifully terraced gardens overlooking the lake. Be sure to plan time in your day to visit the Farmers Museum across the street. In addition to their permanent displays, there's a special exhibit featuring information about the Empire State Carousel.
As you walk through the main barn in anticipation of the carousel, you'll be treated to an exhibit that is very unique because all around in this room there are 11 exhibits that will tell you the story of 11 of the animals that you'll see on the carousel.
The Empire State Carousel was created over the course of 2 decades. It is built on a vintage 1947 Herschel carousel mechanism and was handcrafted by over 1,000 volunteer carvers, quilters, painters, and woodworkers from across New York State. Children of all ages enjoy this interactive museum.
Well, Jerry Holtzman, who is a retired teacher, wanted to make a carousel that represented New York State. And he collected a bunch of volunteers together and spent the next 20 years helping volunteers and coordinating the effort to carve all of these animals and do all the stenciling on the carousel. Each animal does have a story. It comes from a particular area of the state, and the carvers really worked hard to help the animal carving tell the story of the animal and the part of the state that it comes from. And because each animal has a story, everybody wants to know what their animal's story is. My favorite animal is the Holstein cow, and I like it because New York State is such a great dairy producing state, and I think that animal really tells the story of that part of New York's agriculture really well. This is really a great family fun place, and the carousel just adds to that exponentially. People love to ride the carousel again and again and again. Some of our members come just to ride the carousel after school, so it's a really great family fun activity.
When you are here, be sure to search out Benny the brook trout. This is Benny right here. He is the only one that's not painted on the carousel, all natural wood. And take a look at the seat. It's a scallop shell, and you know that the scallop shell is the official shell of New York State.
Tired of explaining who I am. When we both know you don't really.
Much of the preservation of the natural beauty of Otsego Lake can be attributed to the Clark family. Through their foundation, much of the land surrounding the lake has been preserved, and land has also been donated for community parks. Tucked along the east side of the lake on Highway 31 is Ferry Spring Park. This rustic, shaded swimming area has lifeguards on duty, picnic areas, and a pavilion.
James Fenimore Cooper placed one of his main characters at this location. It was Natty Bumppo. His cabin was up there on that hill, and it was called Ferry Spring, and that's what the name of the park is now. The park is here for the public to have access to this beautiful lake for swimming, picnicking, or just walking along the shore. From here on the dock, you have a beautiful vantage point of many of the landmarks here on the lake, all the way from Cooperstown north.